Welcome, everybody, to episode 11 of the Shanevivor podcast. Today, we will be looking at episode 11 of Shanevivor Season 12, Blood vs. Water. First, we have our eliminated player, Tara. A new Shanevivor player from the Voda and Metro Savina tribes, Tara came into this season as Lazy's partner. Let's bring her in to talk about her elimination. Hi, Tara, can you
Hello.
hear me?
Oh, yes, I can. You have a really nice voice.
Thank you. Thank
Of
you.
course, of course.
All right. So, first question I gotta ask, did you enjoy your time on Shanevivor? I know it wasn't necessarily the longest, but did you enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even if it wasn't the longest, I made like halfway. That's usually my goal. I didn't go to a lot of tribal councils, and it's like I never ever play as quiet as I did. And I don't know, I didn't like that aspect of it because like I'm usually
Right.
like far more bombastic and flashy, but I never really got the opportunity to do that, but when I did go to tribal, I kind of did with the fight with Blandino, and I don't know if a lot of hosts caught it, but the strawberry vote happened because when strawberry okay, got like Aiden and Ava's attention. So what I did was I reacted to one of my messages with strawberry question mark like really quickly when undid
Yeah.
it, so that they saw that. So I mean, I guess I kind of did play pretty up front when I did go to tribal, but other than that,
Yeah, you didn't have as much opportunity.
it was fun still.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to hear it was fun. The spectators did enjoy your gameplay. I'll let you know. Aaron, our number one all time, he was enjoying some of your gameplay and his
Oh,
own
that's awesome.
talk show that he has going on lately.
I love that.
But obviously you went home. So, where do you think it went wrong? Leading up to your elimination.
Um, I will say that person who wrote social slag on my parchment, they were kind of right. I wasn't all too active, like in any org that has like one-on-one chats for conversations instead of DMs. I always typically struggle in things like that. I only played another one where I was a losing finalist, and
Right.
and I always struggle with it. It's like harder to respond. I don't really want to be all close and personal like in there.
Yeah,
It's
I can
harder
see
for
that.
me, but still kind of my fault for not locking things in as much as I could.
Right. Yeah,
And another
I can
thing
see that.
is what went wrong for me too was my association with Lazy, it seems like. Because the whole flip in the game happened because Jordan is petty as fuck. And am I allowed to swear on here?
Yeah. You
Woo! Okay, so yeah, Jordan was petty as fuck over some game that happened like a couple of days ago. Like they didn't drop it, and he went to people and flipped the game on them. So by association with me, I was on the bottom one. I would have happily voted out Lazy. At 10. I wanted to do it later down the line. Like we never ever go to the end with each other. Never, ever, ever. But I did tell people that, which is how I found out about the ginger vote and why I flipped that. Um, I did kind of feel like I was target going into Final 10, but I had allies on my side. Oh fuck, I should never let Lazy use the extra vote. It just probably saved me if I was able to flip Jordan. Um, I was actually pretty close to Jordan, believe it or not. Like
Yeah.
the merge day, we DM'd a bit about like some more personal stuff. She's like, oh, kind of against the rules, but oh well, I did it. It was a lot. He opened up to me. I really did open up to him. One thing I didn't tell a lot of people, and I don't tell a lot of people when I play orgs, is that I'm actually like a motivational speaker and a mental health advocate.
Oh, wow, that's really
So
cool.
seeing he was going through a rough time, it just kind of stung, especially
Yeah.
playing the whole game with him. So we opened up and had a nice chat about that. But it didn't matter because he still fucking voted me out. But that's okay. That's all fine. Um, Unfortunately, he probably would have went home if we lost tribe swap anyways,
Right. Yeah.
because
I got those vibes too.
I would have done the same thing people are doing now and keeping around Allison as a extra vote. Oh,
Yeah.
unlucky. Oh
Yeah.
well, happened.
All right. And well, obviously, you're Lazy's partner, but I still want to ask, who are you rooting for and who do you think will win?
Hmm. Omri has a vice grip on this game, I will say that. And a go in Aiden. Like Ginger doesn't respect him. I don't think Jordan respects him. I don't respect him. Um, but other than that, yeah, I do want to see Lazy win. Um,
I'm gonna be honest,
he,
I do too. I'm definitely rooting for Lazy.
I love Lazy so much. We never
Yeah.
can we can make end game with each other, but we don't go to the end. It's still like even after all that, we're cool because we just like bond over like all our messy ass things together, and I don't know, we're both pretty problematic, but like we've grown to love that about each other. It's my favorite thing. I do want to see him win. He was a part of an org that I recently won, where I kind of cold-bloodedly took him out, and I want to see him succeed. Um, besides that. You could read my final words. You're pretty obvious who I'm more bitter against. I'm definitely a bitter juror. But Sparky's another person. Sparky's just like they're nice, they're cute, they're cool.
Yeah,
I want to
Sparky's
see them do
Sparky's
well.
lovable. What's not to like about Sparky? Um,
Exactly.
so
Uh, I might have like took a jab at Essence in my final words, but I also want to see them do well. But their partner, I cannot say the same. Mal's probably like the most boring person I've ever spoken to in an org, and I've played like a good handful of seven of them. It's like the most boring person I've ever spoken to. And I've dealt with inactives, I've dealt with Allison, and even she had some. I didn't really even speak to her, but like I don't know, I fucked with her more than I fucked with Mal, at least at the merge.
that's funny.
Um, who else? Who else is left in the game?
There's
Barnaby.
Barnaby, right? Yeah, that's a big one. Omri.
Yeah, Amir
It's
does
not a lot of
show.
people left. It's not a lot of
Oh
people.
yeah, Final Eight. I forgot because of the Jordan
Right.
walk.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I guess we should kind of loop into this episode what happened, Jordan going home pretty soon after your tribal council. I was going to save it for the
Mhm.
next one, but I think it makes more sense to wrap it up in this one here, include it here.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
too much
so
happened.
obviously Jordan's personal situation leading to him quitting the game. So we're at final eight now. The final eight, I'll just say it out. Lazy, Sparky, Aiden, Mal, Omri,
Okay.
Essence, Barnaby, and Allison.
Yeah. Let me
So
see.
it's
Like
uh it's there's a couple of heavy hitters in that group, but I won't get too much
for
into.
sure.
I'm not going to reveal personal, private things. You are a jury member, so you'll have
Mhm.
to figure out who's playing well on your own. But
Yeah.
I'll get to talk about all the private stuff with our next guest. So, unless you have anything else for me, we'll move on to that segment of the podcast.
All right. I did want to ask one thing. I know you already kind of like turned it down. You're like, oh, you're a jury member. You have to figure this out for yourself. Did I tell the truth about Omri having an idol?
I
You
cannot
can't
tell
answer
you.
that?
I
Okay, yeah.
cannot answer that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Um,
So,
one more
uh,
thing. One more thing I
obviously, you'll have a chance to find out by the time the end comes around whether an idol's played, an idol is revealed to be had, whether someone joins
Mhm.
the jury, tells you whether or not it's true. Because
Yeah.
remember, all advantages this season are shared between partners. So all it takes is if you want to know if Amri has an advantage, Aiden has to join the jury.
He's not joining the jury. He's going to the end as a fucking goat. He's be serious right now.
I will not comment on that, but
Well, I will because I've talked to the jury. They don't like Aiden. One last thing I did want to say is that I hope that the last two votes, they were pretty easy, straightforward. They were closer, but they were still kind of, it felt unanimous, you know?
yeah,
So I know final eight is when resumes they start to count a lot more. You're gonna want to
right,
like start flipping. You're gonna think about your path to the end, about who you can't beat, who you can beat. Um,
right,
if nothing, I hope to see that little six that voted out Ginger and that voted me out. I want to see them fracture, and I want to see them I want like part of. I'd like to have my final words have like a bit of a impact on that
right,
with Amory Idol potential lie with people saying that she's gonna win if she gets to the end, and like who I'm voting for, who I'm not. I want to see that play a factor, petty as hell, but
Right.
I
I
will
mean,
see.
of
But
course, at this point in the game, a lot is still yet to come. There are still at least four more vote outs, right? Potentially five. I stand by every season on Shanevivor will end final three, right? But I
okay,
cannot say whether it'll be a fire making challenge or a vote. So,
I'm excited to see it. Anyways,
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate your time.
of course, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. All right, in this next segment for the player analysis, I'm happy to bring in two-time Shanevivor player and a resident British twink, Patty. Ranked 26th on the all-time player rankings after getting 4th on Season 7 and 11th on Season 10. Patty's calm and controlled gameplay style is always fun to watch. Let's bring Patty in to talk about this episode. Patty, welcome in. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Appreciate
Lovely.
your time today. Thank you for coming on.
No bother. Thank you for
All
having
right.
me.
Well, let's start from the top of the episode. Aiden is immune, right? Going into tribal council. His first win.
Yes.
Obviously Aiden's been pointed out to as a pretty common goat going around right now, him and Allison.
I
That's been
definitely
said a
see
lot.
why. I
Right. Do
can
you
see
think this
why.
immunity win changes anything at all for Aiden, or is he gonna have to improve his gameplay a lot more still?
Um, Normally the way I see it, like immunities don't really mean you're good at the game. That because I feel like you can like be really good at a challenge, but you can just have really bad social games, bad strategy games. I feel like out
Yeah,
of the three, social, strategy, and physical's like the least important, but that's just my opinion.
right. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Um, are you hoping to see more from Aiden, or are you just
I
expecting him to run out the rest of the game as a goat?
I'm hoping to I'm hoping expect more from all of the returnees. Lazy, Aiden, Essence are both free players. I enjoy, and I've played with like all three of them in a Shanevivor season. I've played with Lazy and Aiden were season 7 and
Right, of
Essence was
course.
season 10. So I've having played with all of these people, I'm definitely wanting them to shine. I do think Aiden is like Aiden isn't doing as well as the other two, but then again, like he's seen as a goat, so he could very well get further because of that reason.
Right, yeah, of course. I mean, there is the question of which is better, getting further or controlling the game, right? Which brings in the question of what Essence is really doing. Essence and Mal have, in my opinion, been the ones really dominating gameplay from the start of the merge. You know, they were doing a lot pre-merge as well, but also when they all came together, Essence and Mal in one place has just been a force to be reckoned with. How do you
I
see this?
agree. I feel like sorry, Essence plays very risky, but she plays a good game. Like she understands the game, but she understand like she's a good player, but she does like to play risky, and she was playing a lot in the pre-merge game, and I did worry that obviously playing too hard early on would make you fall off at the end. But now that she is with her partner Mal, that I feel like that's only made them stronger. Really, that they are definitely running the game. Think a lot of people see this. They have Allison as a goat. I've noticed.
Yeah,
They definitely
of
have a
course.
lot of power, and they're not really hiding the power. Like a lot of people see the threat that Essence is. The same with Mal. It's like I what they have a lot of power right now, but I can definitely see a lot of people turning against them, especially as the numbers go down.
Right,
Like
yeah.
final 8 now.
It's gonna be interesting to see, especially right. This episode brings in a second amulet for Essence and Mal. So now if they get one more, right, if they find one more, or if they compete in the blood trial and succeed next round, they they get an idol, right? And so they're already in such a powerful position with control of the numbers. An idol at this point in the game between the two of them would just do so much more damage, right? Like I agree with you what you said, people turning on them, but I can't see that happening within the next vote or two. I have in my mind, it might happen final seven, right? But I
Maybe.
think of it more around final six, final five. But if they have an idol in their hands, suddenly they have just so much more power,
I
right? At
will
final
say
six, final five stages.
Essence and Mal are a good combo, but I can definitely see Mal being a lot more successful than Essence.
Right.
Because I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
can see that too.
Essence appears like more dominant, more risky. So like if they were to want to get rid of one of them, it would be Essence. And like not to say Mal isn't a good player. They are a good player. They've gotten this far. But I feel like in a final against Essence and Mal, Mal isn't gonna really. I don't think Mal will win, maybe, unless Essence has just made that many enemies, which is a possibility. I
Right.
feel like Mal could definitely get a lot further than Essence, and I think Mal is a good contender for the win right now.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. There are a lot of good contenders out there, right? This season's in such an interesting position. There's a very like defined line between the people who are goats and the people who have a chance at winning right now.
I agree.
And I feel like most of the people left in this game are people with a good chance who I would, not at all be upset with winning, right? If I saw a lazy win, if I saw Mal win, if I
I
saw an
would love a
Ari
lazy
win,
win.
an Essence win, a Barnaby win, those are 5 wins I'd be very happy with, right? So like Allison and Aiden, those two have been the main goats in my mind. Everyone else seems to, and I'm still on the fence about Sparky. Sparky's the one person I can't really decide because Sparky's just so lovable, like just such a nice, genuine person. But I haven't seen great gameplay, right? The gameplay hasn't been like fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that I agree. What I've noticed with Sparky is that a lot of people love Sparky, but that also makes it so Sparky isn't really trusted by because everyone likes Sparky. They don't really want to get they don't see Sparky as like the number one ally because everyone likes Sparky, so obviously Sparky has a lot of allies, but no true allies, if that what it means.
Exactly.
Like a lot of people like Sparky, but no one really trusts Sparky. Like they weren't aware that Tara was the vote last round. It was like I believe Sparky voted Allison,
Yeah.
thinking that was a correct vote. Like I was lied to by Essence or that. So a lot of people like Sparky, and they'll probably keep him around. But he doesn't have any position in power. He's very social to the point where like no one wants to sort of tell him anything because they're afraid he'll tell other people.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Sparky and Lazy are a good duo. I think it's like I think they are each other's number one allies right now, which is what they need because I feel Lazy's under some heat right now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely a good final eight. A lot is still yet to happen. I can definitely see Sparky being in the final four. That's kind of how in my mind, I could definitely see that. I feel Aiden's
I
gonna
can
make
see
it to
that.
the end, right? I don't see any reason why Aiden wouldn't be at the end. Um, so it'll just be interesting to see who manages to come out, on top out of this group of people.
Yeah. Well, they might want to get rid of Aiden because a lot of people has been suspecting Amri of having an idol,
Right, yeah, of
which
course. And we both
that
know that
obviously that's
that
true.
is
Yeah,
true. Omri and Aiden are sharing an idol right now. And that's what does make advantages so interesting this season. They're shared between partners for anyone to use.
exactly. If you get rid of one of them, the other one can still use it. And so if they are truly scared of an idol, their best bet is getting rid of both of them. I
Yeah.
don't think that's gonna happen, but they are. I think at this point it's fine. Like if you still have your partner in this game, you're going to get targeted.
Yeah.
Like Aiden, Amory, and then Essence and Mal are the only partners left, I believe.
Yeah, those are the only pairs left in this game. So which is actually really interesting, right? There's only 3 returnees left, but 2 of them have their partners still in this game. And at the last tribal council, Tara was Lazy's partner. So all 3 returnees
Yes.
left had their partners still in this game, right? So it's just it's very interesting to see. And I'm trying to remember who Ginger's partner was because uh I'm
Oh,
I'm fairly certain it was Barnaby, meaning in
oh yeah,
crew,
yes.
every single returning player at the merge had their partner still in the game.
That is true. And I think it's it's quite interesting with the returnees because you wouldn't if you were to tell me, and this is no shade, but if you were to tell me that only four of them made it to merge, I would not have guessed these four
No, me neither.
because
Me neither at all.
there was just an extinction of like returnees at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it's amazing that
It
they
was a
did so poorly.
bloodbath.
Like they on the initial tribes, there were five tribal councils before any tribe swap, and four of those five were returnees, right? And of those four, we saw two Hall of Famers go home, right? And between the two other people, one of them played on All Stars, right? So we had three All Star caliber people go home, not even just All Star caliber, three former All Stars go home before the first tribe swap.
Do you think they were voted out because they were an all-star?
No,
That's the thing.
I don't think so because that tribe had like enough high quality players, right? That they shouldn't be. So I'll point to the people who came into the season as like lower on the returning tribe, right? There's Derek, Strawberry, Ginger, and Aiden. Right, those four came in as like not as good, and then the other six all came in as like threats, right, from their former seasons. They were all
Yeah.
noted as good players. So I can't say that I think they got singled out. I think it was just they played poorly, right? And the big thing was they just lost so much.
They lost a lot of challenge. That would have like make or break. Because like if it was flipped and like what o only the newbies lost the challenge about like three times until merge,
Yeah,
apart, providing the swap. Like if that was complete like flipped, this game would be completely different.
it would be so different. It would be so different. Like if the app merge, we had these heavy hitters, right? So I'll just say this. I'll point to this, right? So you were right. Yeah, three new players went out before the merge. Wait, was it three? Yeah, it was three. Right. So if that were the same for the returnees, right? The three that would have gone home, let's say it was just the first three originally. So Lucy, Derek, Greenby, right? So then at merge, we would have had Michaela, Strawberry, and Daniel.
Like I mean, Michaela and Daniel are such strong competition that they would have like done. I would have loved to see them in merge.
So would I.
Strawberries an interesting one because like they were good last season. They haven't really shown much this season, unfortunately. But I I believe they had a little thing with Essence, right?
Yeah, there was a Strawberry. Strawberry didn't play great this season. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it was not that good to see. But we talked a lot about that in past episodes, right?
Yeah,
Strawberry's just that was I don't want to keep, going into how poorly some players played, because it feels pretty
understandable.
bad. We probably said it in about like seven of the episodes so far that Strawberry's not
Fair.
playing well. So I don't want to just keep bashing Strawberry.
I definitely. This is an interesting final eight though, because I feel like there's like three sides split between the eight current people left.
Yeah.
Because there's Mal Essence that has Allerton as a goat. Like that's really strong, especially if they get the idol. If they can obtain the idol, like one of them is almost guaranteed to make the final.
Yeah.
There's Aiden and Amory, which aren't really seen as threat. Like the only threatening thing about it is the fact that they still have the pair, and Amory is rumored to have the idol. Like it's nothing to do with their gameplay or threat level. It's just about like they still have the duo and they have an idol. That's the only really reason why they would go home at this point.
Yeah.
There's Lazy and Sparky, and like while Sparky is a lovable player, Lazy is Lazy is a good player, and I feel like if Lazy gets to the final, he's a contender to win definitely, and
I think
that
so.
is
Yeah.
my ideal winner because I love the guy.
Yeah. I love
He was
Lazy.
my number one ally in season seven.
Right.
Really
Yeah.
good player.
Lazy's a great
But
player, very
I
likable.
I don't think they will allow him to get to the final so easily.
I don't
Like
think
he'll have
so.
to fight hard if he wants to get there.
Yeah, and honestly, I have faith in Lazy. Lazy, right, Lazy was in a similar kind of position in season 7. Very easy to root for. A lot of people wanted Lazy to win, but they couldn't pull it off. So I think now, having lost last time, I'm hoping Lazy's learned from their mistakes, right? So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Navy's next to go. From what I see, they are a lot of people are after the pairs. Like for example, Barnaby like did just like called out Essence. Obviously, so they're now
Right, yeah.
like against each other, and then there's Lazy and Sparky that's wanted to get one of the duos out. A lot of people know Amory has the idol. I
Yeah.
do fear for Amory's safety, but I can also see them targeting like obviously Essence because she is a great player. She has her duo,
Right.
and like both players of the duo are good people, are like good players. So
Exactly.
I could definitely see one of the duos going next just because of it's final 8. Like if you're still in a duo, you're going to get targeted. That's just how it
Exactly.
is.
Yeah. Well, I think that's everything from the episode. Um, yeah, I appreciate you coming on today. And hopefully we'll
No
have you back for
problem.
a future episode.
Hopefully.
All right, thank
It's,
you.
thank you too. Goodbye.
And thank you everyone for listening. I hate that I have to say this, but if you enjoyed this episode and you want more, make sure to like and subscribe so that we know. Final 8. This is my favorite part of the game. Everything starts to change. Good players go home, great players stand out. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.